Welcome to the Transum Podcast, a monthly roundup of the new features on the transum.org website, providing mathematical puzzles, games, learning activities, and the ever-popular mathematics lesson starter of the day. Here's your host, John Tranter.
Hello, and welcome to the 41st edition of the Transum Mathematics Podcast, where you'll hear about the latest developments and our puzzle of the month. This is for April 2018, and what a pity that the 1st of April falls on a Sunday this year. You won't have the delight of using the 1st of April starter of the day to fool your pupils. Never mind, we'll try again next year. Right, let's start off with the puzzle of the month. So, whatever you're doing while you're listening to this podcast, and I can't imagine, this puzzle will give you something to think about while the rest of the podcast plays through. And this month, well, if you're doing something active, I think it's fair to say you won't have access to pen and paper, so estimating the answer is your challenge. What is your estimate of the answer to the following puzzle? Here we go. Enoch and Eli needed to cut the grass of their square lawn. They agreed that each person should cut half the area of the square. Enoch went first and cut a 1 meter wide border all the way around the lawn. And then Eli cut the rest, and both of them were happy. What was the length of the sides of the lawn? There you go. The answer will be at the end of this podcast. And while you're thinking about that, I'll just run through the most significant activities that have been added to the Transum website this month. First of all, pie charts. Pupils can practice their skills to construct and interpret pie charts using this self-marking set of exercises. Don't forget that subscribers to Transum can keep track of all the trophies that students earn in the class admin part of the website. So if you're not already a subscriber, now's your chance, and you'll be treated with a way of keeping tracks of the trophies that your pupils earn. Now, the links for these activities that I'm talking about are all in the newsletter, transum.org/newsletter. Now, when I was creating the pie chart application, I had the need to draw some pie charts quite quickly. So, at the same time, I created the pie chart creator. And it's a quick and dirty way of producing a pie chart if you're teaching a class and you quickly want to show what a particular pie chart will look like. You just type in the category names and the values, and the software does all the calculations and produces a pie chart for you to project in front of the rest of the class, or copy and paste into notes or exam papers or whatever you want to do with them. So that's also available on the Transum website. Next activity that it was new last month, pick up sticks. Remember that old game called Pick Up Sticks? Well, each of the sticks in this application has got a number or a mathematical symbol on. And they're placed in such a way that you can figure out what's on the top and which stick is on the next level down, and so on. So if you were to pick up the sticks from the pile so that you were always removing the top stick, what calculation would you create? And what would be the answer to that calculation? So this is another activity that you can use in your BIDMAS, or PEMDAS if you call it that, revision repertoire. Now, during last month, there were a number of places around the world where schools had to close because of snow. So I have created a little menu of Snow Day Maths, some mathematical activities to keep pupils' brains active and to continue their learning when the school is closed due to bad weather, or for any other reason for that matter. So links are provided towards the bottom of the page. So when you've chosen which activity set you would like your pupils to do while they're at home, you can send them the relevant link and then sit back and watch the trophies being earned for the activities, and you're fully confident then that the pupils have something worthwhile to do while snowed in. And then that gave me the idea for emergency maths lessons. I used to have a folder of things that could be used if you were ever asked to cover a maths class at very short notice for a teacher who hadn't left work for the pupils. So I've started to put together some emergency maths lesson ideas, and I'm adding to them sort of one a week at the moment. Well, it's there to help you out. So bookmark that page, emergency maths lessons, and remember all the links to these things are in transom.org/newsletter. Okay, now online logo has been online for a long time, and it's a very popular activity with students because it's a great way for students to learn about angles, turning, particularly angles in polygons, using the repeat command. It's a great way for them to do a little trial and improvement and then come up with some reasoning for that. So now levels 2 and 3 have been added to online logo, and these use a more sophisticated logo machine behind the scenes, so there are more commands available to them. And level 2, it introduces the set heading command, which means you can use logo while practicing bearings, because you can type in the bearing that the turtle should be pointing towards, and draw shapes that way. Level 3 introduces the idea of creating procedures, and once you can create procedures, you can then build up some really complex programs to create some intricate designs with the turtle. So it's all great fun, and there is a printable record sheet that I have found very useful when working with a class. Each pupil has one of these, and as they complete an activity, the teacher can sign these, or if you have a little rubber stamp, you can stamp it. And I've never seen any pupil doing this activity that is not motivated to get these signatures or stamps. Great fun. Okay, another activity, graph equation pairs. And this is a collection of pairs activities, the pairs game and a matching game and a couple of others, using the same set of cards. Half of the cards have got sketches of basic graphs, and the other half of the cards have got the matching equations, and what you have to do basically is match them up. So it doesn't take long, the activity, or you can play it as a game, in fact, but it does revise that quite important concept for older pupils. And talking of older pupils, simultaneous solutions, when pupils have learned how to solve simultaneous equations, they then start to realize that there are some pairs of equations that cannot be solved, or some that have an infinite number of solutions. What's that all about? Using the images of the graphs may help, but this little true or false type activity reinforces that concept and gives a little practice of recognizing what type the simultaneous equations are. And finally, for last month, wow, it was a busy month last month, although some of these activities I did write while I was on holiday, so they were actually written around the swimming pool. Anyway, ratio clues is another one where there are a number of clues written in clouds which you can drag around, and you have to use these clues to work out the values of 12 letters. And the reason you can drag the clouds around is so that it enables you to identify which clues you have to use first, and then when they've been used you can drag them out of the way to use the other clues in some sort of logic order.
You are listening to the Transum podcast.
Last month, I told you about a new activity called Olympic rings. There are 3 levels, each with a different ring total, and the ring totals are 11, 13 and 14. And one teacher asked why there was not a level based on ring total 12, and apparently it can't be done. And you can prove that it can't be done, but I don't know how to do it. So I've had a go at it, but got stuck, and I even resorted to posing the question on Reddit. And I did get a nice response, which was a computer program that proved it by using a brute force or a proof by exhaustion method. But I'm sure there must be a short, elegant proof out there somewhere. So if you can prove the ring total cannot be 12, please share your proof with all of us. For future reference, there are 2 mirror sites that contain all of the Transum starters and activities. They are transum.com and transum.info. The only difference is they don't contain the database of details of your subscriptions or the trophies that you've earned or anything like that, but all the activities are there. So if transum.org, the main site, does ever go offline, let's hope it doesn't, you can quickly use one of these other 2 sites so that your lesson doesn't go by the wayside. So fingers crossed there are no hosting issues in the pipeline.
You are listening to the Transum podcast. You can find Transum Mathematics at www.transum.org.
And finally, the answer to the puzzle of the month. So, Enoch and Eli are cutting the lawn. Let the sides of the inner square be X. That's my little clue if you didn't know how to start solving it. Anyway, in the newsletter you can see the various stages, but the answer turns out to be 6.83 metres to 3 significant figures. I hope that made you think a little bit, and I hope you got the answer. That's all for now. Have a great April. Bye.
Thank you for downloading and listening to the Transum podcast. You can find the website at www.transum.org, where you're welcome to use all of the activities absolutely free, or jump in with both feet and become a Transum subscriber.